When one thinks about Mexican cuisine, the things that come to mind are some of the popular dishes that Mexican cuisine has to offer. Those include tacos, tortas, tamales, and maybe even mole. Also, to understand Mexican cuisine, we have to understand where it originated from. And it firstly goes back to when the Mayans and the Incas, the very first class of people in Mexico, were eating legumes, beans, and all these sprouts, until the Spanish came and took over Mexico. When the Spanish took over Mexico, they introduced cattle, they introduced pigs, and they also introduced chickens, which now influence Mexican cuisine a lot. The purpose of this speech is to inform you on some of the popular dishes that Mexico has to offer and some of the chefs that influence Mexican cuisine as well. And also how Mexican cuisine influences many nations, and particularly America. We'll firstly start with some of the popular dishes that Mexico has to offer. One of the most popular dishes that I'm sure all of you guys have had are tacos. And tacos firstly originated in Mexico City when miners, they just needed something really quick to eat in Mexico, and they just had tortillas and they had meat and they just put them together. It was like chaos. It was just something yin and yang. It was perfect. It was a perfect blend. Tacos are composed of three main things, which are tortillas, a meat, chicken or pork, and also a salsa that gives it that acidity to it, that balance. Another popular dish that Mexico has to offer is mole. Mole is very popular in the city of Puebla and in Oaxaca, which is the coast of Mexico. Mole it's a very strange thing. It's described as chaos. It has many ingredients from different parts of the world. But some of the main ingredients are chilies, and those chilies are guajillo, pasilla, and maybe even chipotle as well. And another ingredient that mole has that's very distinct to any other cuisine is chocolate. And it's basically essentially like a chocolate spicy sauce. These two popular dishes are also showcased in a lot of restaurants. And that's where we're going to move on to two chefs that heavily influence Mexican cuisine. And firstly, we'll start with Enrique Olvera, who has an award-winning mole that we just talked about on his menu at his restaurant Pujol in Mexico City. He's a heavy influencer to Mexican cuisine because he showcases these Mexican ingredients in his dishes and at his restaurant, as well as being one of the elite chefs in the world at the moment. Another chef that influences Mexican cuisine is Chef Aaron Sanchez. You guys might know him. He is a lot on the Food Network, and he's in Master Chef. But he also showcases a lot of these ingredients in his restaurant in New Orleans. And both of these guys showcase these ingredients. And the cool thing about them is that they are known for cooking Mexican cuisine. They're not known for cooking French cuisine or Italian cuisine or American cuisine. That's why they have elevated the kitchen of Mexico more than any other chef. These two chefs both showcase Mexican cuisine and influence it in countries like the U.S. as well. The U.S. is heavily influenced by Mexican cuisine, and we see it with how the third most popular menu item in America is Mexican food. And you even have restaurants like Taco Bell that are chains in America. Also, on how even states adopted a name for their own Mexican food. Like for instance, Texas, they call Mexican food Tex-Mex here, and they even created their own certain dishes off of that called burritos and nachos and even hard shell tacos. Hopefully, this speech has given you some insight on some of the influencers that Mexican cuisine has to offer, and also some of the dishes that are highlighted with this very delicate cuisine and very unique cuisine that was influenced by many different things, especially the Spanish, but also stick to his roots of the Mayans and the Incas with beans and legumes that are so eaten in Mexico nowadays. And I hope you guys enjoyed this. Thank you.